النشيد الوطني لبنين. And now the national anthem of Benin.
So then the renditions are done. We are ready to go. Some smiling officials at the moment. Let's hope they're still smiling towards the end. Our referee today is Jean-Claude Ishmael from Rwanda, accompanied by Omar Hamid Mohammed and Fasika Biru from Ethiopia. Sudanese on the other flank. Let's take a look then at the side. Well, this side contains the goalkeeper of the group stage, Landing Badji, clean sheets in all 3 matches, and one of 4 players from Senegal's side named in the 2023 group stage team of the tournament so far, along with the midfielders, Mamadou Camara, Pape Diop, who's moved up front, and left winger Pape Diallo. Pape Diop also named best player, although you could argue that Lamine Camara, their midfielder and the Senegal brain of this team, was perhaps their most important player, but Pape Diop did get all the goals. VAR today, led by Ghana's Daniel Niaye Larea, accompanied by Morocco's Sakina Hamdi. So there are our referees. It's great to see women being so well represented now. It's happening around the world game. Africa is not missing out. Two captains then come together. Samba Diallo for Senegal and Oru Tamimu, who is the central defender, who is one of a few who makes this 4th start of the tournament, but scored an own goal in the 1-0 defeat against Gambia last time out that, in a sense, didn't stop them finishing 2nd in their group, but didn't help. First starts for 3 players on both of the fullback wings. Donna Marie Dosu-Donyo on the right and Ativi Bashiru on the left. And also in the playmaker role, Hassan Mbamu makes his first start as well behind the centre forward Jalou Ibrahim, who has no goals in his first 3 matches so far in this tournament. This would be a great time. Malik Daf, who could have been coach of the group stage, but in the end it was not to be. He ended up losing out to the Gambia's Abdoulaye. So the Senegalese supporters are back, the kickoff is away, and we are all set to go here for Senegal against Benin. Senegal in all green today. These two sides both playing yellow normally. They both have away kits that are white as well, but Senegal going for their green with yellow epaulets. clean sheets in all of their games in the group. And they scored 8 goals as well of their own. It was really a very accomplished entry into the competition. Benin need the likes of number 9 there. You saw Olatunji Tessalimi with his blonde hair to really start shining and highlighting the attack for Benin, with Jailu Ibrahim and Rodolfo Aloko, who's the only man who's actually scored at the right end for Benin in their first 3 matches. They were actually second going into their final group game. Needed a draw to make sure of it, but in the end they lost out. And that happened when Tunisia won their last game and claimed the quarter-final place in second to go up against Congo. That takes place tomorrow. Benin on the attack. 7 goals of difference between these two sides in the opening 3 games, but it all comes down now to who can hold their nerve the better in these knockout conditions. Benin might have only scored 1 goal. They only conceded 2, though. They have a defense that is able to do the job. Kadir Malik is reunited with Oru Tamimu today at the back, having been rested for the final game, with Winsavi coming in. They'll be glad that their kickoff has started. Be able to just get into the game now, get themselves going. That was offside, though, against Jailu Ibrahim. 19-year-old who plays in Benin for USS Crac. Was a substitute in the first game, started the second, and then again was a substitute. He's been interchanging with Bava. Bava's on the bench today. And that would be a corner. Glimpse there of Senegal's Malek Daf, the former under-17s coach. He was very complimentary to Egypt, actually, even though they trounced them 4-0. Here's Senegal, though, trying to get their first goal. It's not a very good corner, though. Benin having the chance here. Tessalimi to break forward, but it's a heavy touch from the right winger, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Well, yes, Daf was talking about the hosts after thrashing them at the Cairo International Stadium here, 4-0 on Saturday. And said that they were still a good side. They actually held out for much of the first half, did the Egyptians. It was in the second half when Senegal took them apart. Senegal, though, didn't only take apart Egypt, they also took apart Nigeria as well. Only 1-0, though, on the opening day, but they played much better than the score line suggests. The 3-0 against Zambia was more of a reflection of how they've been doing. They're a team that, by all accounts, really know how to follow the coach's instructions. Very, very assured. You could see that from their 3 games. Sort of thing that will have club coaches around Europe looking with great interest at them. Another corner kick then, same area. It's a bit higher this time, except that instead of being too short, it's now too long. It was the centre-back, Seydou Sano, who was trying to pick it up on this near side. One of a few players in the Senegal side who have started all 3 games. He comes out to the left-back, Souleymane Bass. Looking into the box. Boubacar Ndiaye was still forward. That's well taken down, though, by the midfielder for Benin, Dodo Doukou, who has started all 4 games for the Cheetahs, formerly the Squirrels. National side changed their nickname last year. This is their 3rd appearance in the under-20 AFCON. Their best so far, 3rd in 2005, in which they beat Ivory Coast and Morocco on home soil. Also got to the group stages in 2013, but it's not a long pedigree or history for them in this competition. Benin, though, a country that seems to be rising generally in terms of football ability, football achievements, and a victory today, which would be a major surprise against the tournament favourites, would be a major step up. Well, there is the man who's been trying to scheme that one, Mathias Deguignon, who was frustrated after his cheaters again failed to put away their chances on Monday and ended up with a own goal by the skipper, Tamimu, seeing them lose against the Gambia. Gambia, the only other side apart from Senegal to win all 3 games in this competition. That TV is getting a little bit tied up in knots there. One of 3 players for Benin who is starting for the first time in this current Africa Cup of Nations. It's his first time playing all round. He's just been an unused substitute for the first 3 games in the group stage. Now, though, perhaps a slightly surprising first start. No Benin players made it into the group, or the best 11 of the group. 4 Senegalese, though, made it in. Only 1 Gambian, funnily enough, the centre-back, Alaji Sen, who's the captain of Gambia. But their coach, Abdoulaye Bojang, also was named as the coach of the group stage. Uganda's Torak Okaki had a really good group stage as well. He was named in the team of the group stage. It was Congo's Deogracias Bashinga who got the nod up front. Although Papa Diallo, sort of a midfielder come forward, was in the team as well. And was named as the best player of the group stage. Can't quite see where the foul was there. Senegal have the ball. Spread square by Seydou Sano. Centre-back, gets it back again. Back to Boubacar Ndiaye, ever present with his centre-back partner through the tournament so far. No way through at the moment for Sano, so he goes cross-field, and you can see the sun just interfering there with the eyesight of Amadou Diop, the right back, trying to get forward. Well, there's an indomitable lion in the crowd, not of the Cameroonian variety though. The young lions of Teranga, that looked a lot older than a young lion. Well, Teranga means hospitality, but so far Senegal have not been particularly hospitable, although Nigeria were very, very sporting to them when they were beaten in the first game. And as a result of them congratulating the Senegalese players, they got the Fair Play Award of the group stage. Didn't stop Nigeria coming through to the knockout stages either. Senegal then with a free kick. It's a decent ball in, but it's well dealt with. It's a throw in instead. High five between Kadir Malik, who did the header, and his goalkeeper Rahman Karim, who's been in goal ever since he replaced Dava Agosa after the first game, after the #1 keeper made a rather injudicious decision to scoop a back pass out of his penalty area and wound up giving the ball to the opposition. And Zambia came straight back and equalised. Just think how different it could have been had they held on to that 1-0 win. Tessalimi has swap flanks, can't keep the ball in though, it'll be a throw in. to the young cubs of Teranga. In their 8th under-20 AFCON. First took part in the 1983 edition, 40 years ago. It's amazing they haven't won the title yet. But then you could say the same thing about the senior side as well, who finally put that thing hanging over them to bed last year. Brought down by Pat Job. 4 goals in the group stage for him. Bass tries to get away from Tessalimi. In the end, he's forced to go all the way back to Sano. Well, the early stages at the moment, no side has really managed to get into the penalty area. It's still goalless here in the Cairo International Stadium. This is better though. Now they are into the penalty area. Chance here. Samba Diallo into the box. Still not out. And that was clever from Benin. Little nod down there by Donna Marie Dosu Dognon, making his first start in the competition. Was a substitute in the first 2 games. Didn't come on at all in the last game against the Gambia. Now gets his first start in the competition when he gets serious. Came in for Sankamal, who had started the first 2 games, or rather the last 2 games, excuse me. Back to Bass from the throw-in, and far too close to Karim. Simple catch for the 17-year-old Jaja FC man. Tessalimi, good strength. Apart from not scoring, he's had a good tournament. He's been strong up front, helping to get Benin forward. Forward by Job. It's going to come straight back the other way though, picked up by Donna Marie Dosu Dognon. Manages to avoid the attentions of his tackler and slip. Hands possession back to Senegal. It's all a bit messy at the moment in midfield, both sides. A lot of energy, a lot of defensive energy. So far not an awful lot of attacking composure. Chance again for Samba Diallo, who is absolutely felled. Club is Dynamo Kiev. Samba Diallo's 20 years old, so this will be his last shout at getting the under-20 title. Didn't look a very good tackle. Unsurprisingly, it'll bring another free kick. There's a couple of corners and a couple of free kicks early on in the first quarter of an hour for the tournament favourite Senegal, but as yet they've not been able to break through this Benin team. The latest to find that the Cheetahs are pretty hard to break down. Sulemane Faye looks as though he wants to take this. 17-year-old Talavera man, plays his club football in Spain. In the end, he's left it for Lamine Camara. What's going on in the middle? The Benin player is suddenly on the deck. What's that all about? The TV looked like he got the shoulder in his chin, but I think he's fine. Silly shenanigans once more in the modern game. Here we go. In it comes then from Lamine Camara. Not the best delivery though. Called him the brain of the midfield at the beginning of the game, but that one wasn't a particularly cultured delivery. Lamine Camara on the scope of Metz in France. Metz relegated from Liga last time around. Senegal as expected, dominating possession, but that's a loose ball forward from Boubacar Ndiaye. Two players left on the deck. Ball has gone off to the far touchline, and Rodolfo Loco is one of them. 16 years old is Rodolfo Loco, a real protege of Dynamo Jumbo of Benin. There was a bad bounce, which didn't help. Well, the Senegal supporters have been making their game some of the most colourful and noisy of the Africa Cup of Nations so far here in Egypt. They've had plenty to feel happy about as well. For Benin, it's been a bit more of a slog. Still struggling either side to come up with anything really meaningful at the moment. It's a nervous start by both. It's a frenetic start by both, but neither are really getting their foot on the ball as yet. Still a long way to go, it seems, at the moment. They might have been flamboyantly attractive to watch in the group stage, but Benin are making it ugly at the moment, which is just what they will be trying to do. They don't want Senegal to be able to get their foot on the ball and start playing. And you see there, just irritating them every time they get on the ball. Draws a free kick to Benin. For Malik Daf to get excited about yet. He actually commented about the exertions of this competition, saying we suffered from fatigue due to the players' participation in other tournaments before this one, but promised that they would still continue to play at the same level. So far in the competition, he's delivered on that promise. That's gone out. Throw in to Benin. A little bit of gamesmanship by Lamine Camara. Game against Gambia, Mathias Deguignon stated they wanted to qualify for the next round. To be honest with you, they were pretty much qualified because of the fact that Egypt only managed to get 1 point in their Group A campaign, and Benin already had 2, so they were already guaranteed of a place. It was just a question of whether or not it was going to be third or second. course, it was third, which means that they've got this match. Which is not the one they would have wanted. Picked up on the far side by Samba Diallo. Better play down to Suleiman Faye. Into the box. This is much better from Senegal. Samba Diallo may have been better to play the dummy there because he had a teammate in a much better position than him. And that decision means that the chance goes away. Up the other end then, Dodo Doku on a charge. And then he's decided to put his foot in. And it'll be a free kick to Senegal. Not much of a challenge, if we're honest, on Seydou Sano. Seydou Sano, one of those who started all 4 games in the centre of defence. Very solid. A lot of the attention was attracted by Landing Badji, who was named the goalkeeper of the group stage and made it into the team of the group stage. Neither Sano nor Njai made it into that team, but you could argue they were just as important in those clean sheets. I think it's Dodo Joku who's down there. No, it's actually Olatunji Tessalimi who went down, and then afterwards Alassane Mbouma joined him. This was the playmaker going down initially. That was not a good challenge at all by Pap Job. Flailing foot from the top scorer so far in the competition. Olatunji Tessalimi is guilty as anybody in a Benin shirt of wasting chances in this competition. Now is the time to sort out the radar. There's no yellow card in that, so it's going to be a drop ball, not even a foul. So our referee gets us underway once more, and Benin hook it long. Senegal chasing a long ball, trying to get round the corner, and they have done as well. It's a decent run by Diallo, but he couldn't get there. That's intercepted by Job, and it will be a free kick to Senegal for the foul on Djibril Diarra, another to have started all 4 games in this competition, and who plays for the legendary Generation Foot. A team that supply an awful lot of players to France. Quite a number of this team are in the Generation Foot setup, including Amadou Diop, the right back, plus Ibou Sane, centre forward, Samba Diallo, who's starting the game here, as well as the likes of Papa Amadou Diallo on the right wing. Look at the effect that Generation Foot have on the Senegalese scene. Malik Diaf, the coach of Senegal here, was previously in charge of Jaraf, finished runner-up to Generation Foot in the Senegalese League Championship back in 2018 before he went off to the under-17 setups nationally. Tessalimi, good tackle. Nicely done by Djibril Diarra, coming back to help out his fullback. Throw-in will be taken by Dossou Dognon. waste. It will now transfer possession to the Senegalese. Looking unmoved at the moment is Monsieur Jaff. He's pleased with the win over Egypt. Egypt, a side that he said had beaten them before in the past. Host country. Facing them wasn't easy, he said. In the first half, you probably were right, but in the second half, Senegal just ran away with things. Senegal beat Gambia to qualify for this tournament, the country that they almost entirely surround over there on the west of Africa. Bordered by Mauritania to the north, the country that hosted the last Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Mali as well to the east, who didn't qualify here. Guinea to the southeast, Guinea-Bissau to the southwest. Sano. Speculative ball forward, nothing more than that. Just trying to get a little bit of possession. They'll get a little bit better now. Pap Diop picks it up, coming deep into midfield. Heading towards the half-hour mark here, and they're labouring at the moment, are Senegal, with their captain Samba Diallo laying it inside. Forward by the centre-back Sano. Tessalimi skips in to follow up on the good work by his teammate. However, easy ball given away once more, and Seydou Sano this time goes into the box, and it's caught well by Rahman Karim, who's looked pretty solid since he took over from Dava Agosa after the first game against Zambia. He's only conceded one goal, and that was an own goal. Scored by his captain, Oru Tamimu, in the final game, and it was very late on in that game as well. Didn't ultimately make any difference to how they progressed to this knockout stage, though. Senegal once more on the attack, but swarm of yellow shirts surrounding Souleymane Faye. There's a few more green shirts now forward to support him. Looking over the top, that would have been spectacular from Samba Diallo. Captain looking for his first goal of the campaign. Yet to be involved in a goal yet, either scoring or assisting. That didn't really look offside, did it? Real chance. He really looked like he was going to connect too, but just got through it a little bit too fast. Sort of a drinks break being taken at the moment. A lot of the stadium is actually in shadow at the moment, which helps. It is the winter, so not quite as hot as it would be had this competition taken place in the summer. Good time to take it. This competition taking place at the same time as the African Champions League and Confederation Cup, which I hope you've been following as well. Change of boots for Alassane Mabumu. We split the other ones. Anyway, it's a free kick to the Senegalese side, which will be taken by the other number 5 on the pitch, Lamine Camara. Again, it's not a very good delivery from the midfielder. There's 2 free kicks now that have been pretty poor in their delivery. Tessalimi in encouraging to come forward, but it's an under-hit pass that allows Senegal to get back possession far too easily. And we've hit the half-hour mark here at the Cairo International Stadium, and it's Senegal 0, Benin 0, the first of 4 quarter-finals here at the 2023 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. We're still waiting to see who will inherit the title that was won by Ghana last time out in Mauritania when they beat Uganda in the final. Gambia and Tunisia were 3rd and 4th on that occasion. Senegal have reached the previous 3 finals before the last one, including one on home soil in 2015. Ended up losing against Nigeria, the record winners of this competition, with 7 titles, and that was a pretty forgettable attempt at a cross there from Jalou Ibrahim. And the first yellow card comes out for Alassane Mboumo for that challenge on Suleiman Faye. Free kick to Benin again. Salimi is always encouraging free kicks. He is very good at encouraging players into the tackle, just moving the ball away from them at the vital moment. It's gone loose. It'll be a throw-in though to the Cheetahs. Cheetah Cubs rather, aren't they? Only 20 years old and less. Normally you'd expect a lion to beat a cheetah, but let's see. Depends how fast they're running. Well, we're into the last third of the first half, and so far neither has really been flying in this opening quarter-final as yet. And maybe there's a little bit of frustration being shown by Malik Daf. So far his game plan has been thwarted by a very, very good defensive plan that has been put out by his opposite number, Mathias Deguignon. Dosudonyon with the throw. Benin have barely been into the last third. They finally make it. A goalkeeper's come and has missed it. Tessalimi tries to get hold of it. Goalkeeper still not back on his line. Tessalimi just cannot get turned towards goal to get a shot away. And again, Senegal are there to make the challenge. That ball has not gone out yet, has it? It has finally now. Benin throw again, is it? No, it's the other way. Senegal. Benin have got through the group stage after they qualified for this tournament for the first time in 10 years. They won Group A in the West B zone of qualifying to get into the finals again. So they would be pleased that they made it through. To be fair, the conditions of qualifying were pretty favourable, with 8 of the 12 teams getting through to the quarterfinals. It's good strength in the middle by Imran Hassan. Excuse me, Dodo Doku. Tessalimi. Again, he gets past the first man and then delivers a decent ball out to this right-hand side where it's picked up by Ibrahim. Senegal, though, easy tackle played forward by Job. Job again. Plays his club football in Belgium with Zulte Vervelgem. Scored 2 of his 4 goals in the last game. Added to those 2 goals with the hat-trick goal. The only hat-trick that we've seen in this tournament so far. This was Samba Diallo trying to get to the byline. And then at the other end, Tessalimi landing Badji under a rare amount of pressure in this AFCON so far. And meanwhile, the followers of the Lion Cubs of Teranga keep their incessant support going in the stands. Not needed at the moment. It's been hard work in this first half. Tessalimi looks at the referee. Not sure he really got an elbow in the face. He put his face into the elbow. It wasn't really an elbow either. It was a straight arm from the centre-back, Boubacar Ndiaye. He's a little fortunate there to get the free kick. No, there's no way that that arm was moved that way. I'm sorry, Monsieur Tessalimi, but that was not what happened. Nevertheless, he got inside the free kick, which is what he was after in the first place. Off we go then, and the free kick doesn't amount to very much. None of the free kicks really have, to be honest with you, in this first half for either side. Set pieces have been a little bit of a disappointment. We have yet to have the 2 goalkeepers really make a proper save. The nearest we've come is landing Badji having to come out for a ball above Tessalimi that he made a bit of a mess of. But that didn't result from a shot at goal. Benin turn and trying to attack, but again the ball looking for Tessalimi is wayward, and it's an easy interception for Seydou Sano. Long distance, finally a shot, and it's not surprising that it comes from fully 30 metres out, because there's been absolutely almost no way into either penalty spot or penalty area. Well, the attempt from distance by Ibrahim didn't get anywhere near, though, from the man who is making his 2nd start in this competition, having kicked off against Tunisia's under-20s in the 2nd match day, game that resulted in a 0-0 draw. Ultimately, that was a good result for Tunisia because it allowed them to then win their final game and overtake Benin for 2nd place. Tunisia in action tomorrow. Yep, absolutely. Tomorrow they close us out. It's 7 o'clock local time against Congo. That man there, though, instead of being in the final quarter-final, is in the first one. Still struggling to score, but they're struggling to create in this game. Senegal with a corner kick. It's fairly long once more, and it's over the top of Souleymane Faye. He keeps the ball in, though, at the far side. There are 4 men still in the penalty area. Turned by Diop. Long ball forward from Ndiaye. Still forward is Lamine Camara, and it's gone behind one more time, and it's another chance to get away from the set piece. Lamine Camara yet to really show us what he can do in this game. With 5 minutes to go until the break, it is still Senegal 0, Benin 0. Everything is poised on a knife edge here in the first of the 4 quarter-finals at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Waiting for the spark. Can it come before half-time? Souleymane Faye picks it up and tries to go past Kadir Malik? He does, and that's just past the near post, and that's much more like it. Samba Diallo, I think, in the middle, running onto that ball. It's a good chase to the byline. Wi-Fi picked out the free man in the box. And that's a couple of chances, but the best by far that Samba Diallo has had in this first half. And Malik Daf, like everybody else in Senegal, cannot believe that they're not leading. Away by Tamimu. Rather, excuse me, away by Suleiman Bass. Senegal not in yellow today, it's Benin who are in yellow. It's come back as far as Dossou-Dognon. It's well taken though, and here comes Samba Diallo for Senegal. That's a crunching challenge coming in from Imran Hassan. Pam Jock certainly felt that. Well, Benin will certainly know that he's the main threat up front, and anything they can do to stop him. Surely a yellow card for that. It was out of control. Just a free kick by the looks of it, taken by Suleiman Bass. Leads it out to Boubacar Ndiaye. Back from Amadou Diop. And they'll come back the other side with Seydou Sano. Into Bass once more. He cuts inside Dodo Doku. Good tackle though from Kader Malik. Jibril Jara forward. Referee allowing play to continue. Bass no way forward. So he feeds it back into Ndiaye. Try again. Through there, no. So back it comes in to Jibril Jara. Forward comes Sano. Through there past Doku. It's an intelligent ball out to the right-hand side, though. There's space here now, plenty in the middle as well. It's a good defensive header that gets rid of it. Just over a minute to go. Bass into Diallo. Diarra again spreads it out wide to the right-hand side, down the line. And it goes off and is a goal kick to Benin. And so they weather that storm once more. It's been more of a light breeze from Senegal in this first half rather than a full storm. The calming measures issued by Benin have been very effective. Coming up to the last 30 seconds then in the first half of this first quarter-final of the Under-20 AFCON. Senegal, three-time former finalists, struggling to break down a Benin side whose best was third place 18 or so years ago. Benin on the attack again. It's a short ball. Tessalibi can't believe it. So many passes to him in this first half have been under-hit. Awful lot of running. Imran Hassan there going up against Pat Demba Diop. Pat Demba on his shirt. Two minutes to be added at the end of the first half. We are already nearly half a minute into that. Really a great time for either side to score now. There will be barely any time to be able to come back. And it's the sort of game at the moment that could wind up being just a one-goal game. But then you could have said that about the last game against Egypt as well, and look what Senegal did to them in the second half. So they have to keep their concentration all the way through this one, do Benin, because Senegal can turn it on at any moment. For those that don't know, it was 4-0 to Senegal against Egypt in the end. Goals came almost in the last half an hour. The first one on 59 minutes. Distance, that might have been a shot. The less said about it, the better. So we'll let that one go, and Malik Daf doesn't look like he can let it go. For the first time in this tournament, they look like they're not quite being able to put into effect the pre-match game plan. The one thing that he will be happy with is that they look rock solid at the back, and Benin have barely had a sniff of anything at their end of the pitch. Hooked over by Dossou-Dognon. Again, it pings around, and that should be the goalkeepers. Comfortable stuff for landing Badji. And a very good piece of distribution as well. However, Senegal are not going to have any time to be able to do anything with it because the half-time whistle has gone. It has been a hard-fought fight between these two sides in the first quarter-final. Samba Diallo with easily the best chance of the game and almost the only shot of the game 3 minutes before half-time. It went wide, and it means then in the first quarter-final of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations for Under-20s, it is Senegal 0, Benin 0. Well, the statistics then,
See, I was pissed at you. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I know I debt to love has been paid. I paid that bill.
At TotalEnergies, we go the extra mile for you.
Discover their first match, marvel at their first exploits, feel their first thrill, share their first victory, and become their first fans. Thanks to Orange, proud partner of African football.
Well, the first quarter-final of the 2023 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations saw the Group A winners, Senegal on the left, up against the team that finished third in Group C, Benin. Senegal kicked off in green, looking to add to their 8 goals they scored in the 3 matches without conceding a single goal. That was the job that Mathis Deguignon had, trying to get the better of the tournament favourites who have reached the final in 3 of the last 4 tournaments. Senegal dominated possession. Often they came forward, but they just couldn't quite turn that possession into something a little bit more concrete. Samba Diallo there making the wrong decision and ending a chance early on in the half. Benin, though, have only scored 1 goal in this tournament so far, something that their coach has been lamenting after every game. Tessalimi, one of those who has failed to get on the score sheet. Rodolfo Aloko is the only player who has scored for them so far in this tournament. Nevertheless, they drew 2 of their 3 group games. That was enough to get them in as one of the 2 best third-place teams, and Tessalimi put a little bit of pressure on, landing Badji, the goalkeeper of the group stage, named in the team of the group stage. However, he was unable to take advantage of that mistake from the Senegal shot stopper. And they resorted to a shot from distance coming from Diallo Ibrahim, who was back in the starting lineup, having been a sub in the final game against the Gambia. Gambia, the only other side apart from Senegal, who won all 3 games in the group stage. This was the best chance, 3 minutes before half-time. A lovely run down the left-hand side by Suleiman Faye, put it on a plate for Samba Diallo, but unfortunately he was unable to find the right side of the post, and that was it then, 0-0 at half-time.
one substitution for, I think this is the Benin. Senegal, you have as well? No. I only have one sub.
Allez, venez là, petite fille.
See, I was pissed at you Now here's what I'm gonna do. I know I did till love has been paid. I paid that bill.
At TotalEnergies, we go the extra mile for you.
Discover their first match, marvel at their first exploits, feel their first thrill, share their first victory, and become their first fans. Thanks to Orange, proud partner of African football.
Well, welcome back to the Cairo International Stadium, where the two sides are back out on the pitch again after drawing blanks in the first half. The only real chance of the first 45 minutes going just before half-time to Samba Diallo, the captain of Senegal. And Benin are going to make a change up front. On comes Samidou Bawa, the Dragons FC forward. Benin with no really or any action up front in that first half. Well, it's been quite a 12 months for Senegal. Referee gets us back underway then. We are 0-0 going into the second half. There was only one shot each from the two sides in the first 45 minutes. We are hoping for a lot better here. If it doesn't though, there will be half an hour of extra time at the end of this second 45-minute period, and if they still can't be separated after that, we head for penalties. Two coaches up to at the half-time interval. Surely they will have been trying to get a little bit more progressive play into their sides. They'll both be happy though, they're not at least losing, they're not trailing. However, Malik Daf there, who would love to follow in the footsteps of fellow Senegalese coaches, Aliou Cissé, who won the senior Teranga Lions their first senior AFCON title last year in the delayed Africa Cup of Nations. Mamadou Diallo was in charge of the beach soccer national side that won their AFCON as well. And of course, Pape Thiaw was in charge of the home-based national side of the African Nations Championship that claimed their first title in 2022 as well. Two of the players that were in that winning Africa Cup of Nations crown with the seniors, albeit the locally based ones. Pape Diallo and Lamine Camara are also in this particular event as well with the under-20s. Pape Diallo on the right-hand side of the pitch in front of Amadou Diop, and Lamine Camara alongside Djibril Diarra in midfield. So far, those two have been unable to inspire their side to anything like the sort of form they had in the group stages, where they were all powerful, all dominant. But it was 0-0 against Egypt as well at half-time in their final group game. So Benin know that just because they've held them for the first period does not at all mean that they've done the job. Benin with a long ball forward, it's easily cut out though. Boubacar Ndiaye and Seydou Sano look rock solid at the back during the first half. That's taken well though by Dodu Doku for Benin. He feeds it out to Olatunji Tessalimi, the right winger. More good defending brings another foray forward for Benin to a halt, and there weren't that many of them in the first 45 minutes. Benin though having the better start in terms of possession and coming forward. Looks very different from what we saw in the opening part of the game, where they were giving the ball away almost all the time. That must be something that was addressed, you would think, by their coach, Mathias Deguignon. Going to Get a free kick here as well. Late from Suleiman Faye on Alassane Mbouma. He was the only player who was booked in the first half with his own wild lunge. Mbouma though back on his feet.
Senegal finally managing to get their foot on the ball. That's nice little piece of play there from Pat Diallo, the Africa Nations Championship winner. And a free kick to the Senegalese. Quite clearly. A little bit rough and wild by Rodolfo Aloko. It's a very long time now since he scored Benin's only goal in these finals so far in match day 1. The 1-1 goal against Zambia. Raman Karim barking out the instructions to his defenders. A two-man wall at the moment. Salimi and Goku making it up. The rest are taking a marker each. A couple of extras in there as well. In he comes, and that's a chance, and it could go in, it does! Astonishing, Rodolfo Aloko has scored his second of the tournament. And Benin have the lead from almost nowhere. Wide-eyed celebration of the Cheetahs. And Senegal are in front. And Samba Diallo, who missed the best chance of the first half, comes through to get the goal in the second. Lamine Camara finally gets a delivery right after an awful time with set pieces in the first half. And Senegal finally manage to get a cutting edge. Well, they were nowhere near it in the first half. There is no reaction from Malik Daf. The Senegal skipper headed straight for his coach. And the Senegalese finally have something to cheer. So Benin, then, who've only scored 1 goal in the entire tournament, now have a huge mountain to climb. They have to get over this hump. Briefly fallen upon by Badji. He's a 23 on his back, but he's the #1 keeper in this tournament, yet to concede a goal. So not only are Benin struggling to score, but they also are up against a side that have not conceded at all in the tournament, the only side to have had 3 clean sheets. Gambia also went through their campaign not conceding a goal either, including in the 1-0 win over Benin in their final group game. methodical, relentless support of before. Now there's some real enthusiasm in because they have something to cheer. Samadou Diop, who's gone down, the right back. It's a lovely ball in. The defenders just lost it completely. You can see them looking around going, how did that happen? Let's not forget we have VAR in this as well, so if it was offside it would have been spotted. And those young fans who might be the under-20s of the future, inspired by what they're seeing the current generation doing. Tessalimi for Benin, not the first touch he was looking for. Out by Sano. It's gone out. Gone for a loco, getting it all wrong there. Benin then with a platform to attack here, 5 minutes into the second half. Lifted long, dealt with easily though by a combination of Sanu and Njai. Back it comes the other way though. It's Kadir Malik with the header. It's another free kick that's taken quickly by Tessalimi. Again, though, they just don't have the composure to be able to keep possession for that long. Senegal again on the attack. Samba Diallo. So too much. It's just taken a bit of backspin though, almost like a pitching wedge in golf, and it's kept in there for Senegal. And they've got the ball back again. Picked up by Kamara and then wide from Pap Diop, who hasn't really looked as yet like he's going to add to his 4 goals in the tournament so far. Loco looking a little bit forlorn. On comes Saibu, who replaces him. Saibu, who is 18-year-old Lotto FC forward, and on for the 3rd time in the competition as a substitute. He did start the 2nd game against Tunisia. Senegal coming forward, down inside the box. The referee completely looks the other way. Not impressed at all by the fall to the deck inside the penalty area. Dosudonyo looking for Tessalimi. No foul, Tessalimi still down, Benin have possession. Coming forward is Umar Al-Hassan. Nice little ball inside by Doku. The turn doesn't work out, Senegal have it. And it's Suleiman Bass trying to bring it forward. Diallo holding his feet well. The goal scorer now brimming with confidence. Sano. Referee is going to come back though, because I think Tessalimi is still down. It's Bawa who's still down. So he just come on. Well, I can only think there he twisted his ankle. Not entirely sure where in that challenge he
maybe there. He stood on the Senegalese player slightly, and maybe he twisted his ankle a touch there. This was Diallo coming back inside, and there's nothing in that either. Dognon flicks out a foot, but Senegalese looked like he was looking for the contact. Nevertheless, seen those given in the past. Never really looked fully committed to the appeal, though. After that, we're going to have a drop ball. Boubacar and Jai is being backed up by the referee. And we're underway once more. By the captain, Tamimu. And it was a foul on the Benin skipper. Pat Job just leaping into him. No yellow card, it was a genuine attempt for the ball. An hour gone and Senegal in front, as yet have not conceded a single goal in the tournament. They have now scored their 9th, starting off with a 1-0 win over Nigeria, then 3-0 over Zambia, 4-0 over Egypt. And a good sliding challenge from Rahman Karim. Stop Senegal in their latest attempt to get forward and score. After the 3 goals against Mozambique, it was 4 against Egypt. There must have been some concern that if they keep on going up in terms of goals scored, that there could have been a trouncing here, but Benin with a very strong defence, however with a very weak attack, and they need their defence to stay as solid. They need their attack to really open up now as we head into the last half an hour. Long ball forward from Kadir Malik, looking for Tessalimi. This first quarter-final, the second one between Uganda and Nigeria at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismailia. And then tomorrow, Gambia against Sudan in Alexandria, the Palace El Hadoud Stadium. And then we're back here at the Cairo International Stadium in the evening for Congo Brazzaville against Tunisia. All of them trying to get into the semi-finals, which will take place in 4 days' time from now. Both on the same day. Third place playoff the day before the final on the 10th of March. The final also here at the Cairo International Stadium. The host nation would have been hoping that their host country would have been somewhere near to it, but unfortunately for the Egyptians, there will be no repeat of the title that they picked up in 2013 in Algeria when they won their 4th crown in this event. 3 behind the record champions Nigeria, who are still in the running for a possible 8th. When they take on Uganda later on. Uganda, though, will be no pushovers. They've looked very good in Group B. Even in a match against Congo, with whom they had to be separated by the drawing of lots at the end of the competition, they still look the better side, I would argue. Uganda, who were the finalists, beaten by Ghana last time out, who didn't make it through qualifying this time.
Starlets watching on from home. Jallo, the goal scorer here. Leads it back, and it comes now into the defensive midfield of Jibril Diarra. Hooked ball forward from Sano. It's a rather fluffed header. Well won by Job. Amadou Job now, all the way back to his goalkeeper Badji. It's just difficult to see where Benin have the firepower here for, even in terms of setting up chances at the moment. It's looking very easy for Senegal. It's not surprising that we're going to see maybe a couple more changes to the Benin lineup as they try to do something to spark their attack, which has been blunt really pretty much throughout the entire tournament, with the exception of Rodolfo Loco in the first game. Here comes Senegal though on the attack. Jallo once more, but he runs straight into Tamimou, the captain of Benin. Imoran Hassan decides to change direction, but it's not a great ball. And it means that the substitute side, who had to come back to get it, which took away all of the impetus going forward. Forward comes Ativu Bachiru. Haven't seen an awful lot from the man making his first start. Sankamau had started all 3 games in the group stage, but he's on the bench today. Which was a bit of a surprise. Abdul Rashid as well, who was in the team of the group stage for Benin, was left on the bench today in favour of Dono Dosudonyo at right back. It is Deguignon looking for something a little bit different. It hasn't really worked, in an attacking sense at least. Tessalimi, he looks as dangerous as anybody in a yellow shirt this afternoon, but that's a wayward pass as well. Back to Imoran Hassan. Forward again, still struggling. Tessalimi is tackled in midfield, and Senegal are able to bring it forward once more. Oh, the goalkeeper's got it completely wrong. And Suleiman Faye lays off, it's hit the bar from Jallo. Can you believe it? Well, that was match point. There's no doubt about that. Rahman Karim got it all wrong coming out of goal. Pinched by Suleiman Faye, who did really well here to spot the arrival of his captain. Clearly not over the line. What a miss. What a miss. Time that a goalkeeper in the Benin side has made a mistake, but Rahman Karim has been brought out in to sort out the error that was made by Dava Agossa in the first game. Looks like Ebu Farid Jr. is going to come on, and also Stefan Vignebi. Off comes Alassane Maboubou, who was on a yellow card in any case. And Senegal also making
a substitution as well. They're going to bring off Suleiman Faye and bring on Ibu Sane, 17-year-old generation foot centre forward who can also play on both wings. So what will those changes do to the pattern of the game? Saidu trying to come back down that far side for Benin, one of the substitutions. So far has yet to make an impact. Salimi is the other man who's come off, which is a little bit surprising perhaps, because he was about as dangerous a player in a Benin shirt as they had in the first 70 minutes, which we're about to hit here at the Cairo International Stadium, with Senegal with 1 foot in the semi-finals, and as a result 1 foot in the Under-20 World Cup as well. This is Under-20 World Cup. We'll see it taken to Indonesia for the first time. It takes place in May, so it's not too far in the future, which is good for the likes of the winner of this competition, because it's not too far away, which means that they might be able to take form that they've managed to generate in this tournament with them into the global event. 4 semi-finals from this competition will be part of the 24-team lineup in Asia. Quite a number of teams have already qualified, including England, France, Israel, Italy and Slovakia from Europe. South Americans will of course have Brazil, who are the 5-time former champions. States will also be there as well, including a few of the smaller nations like Fiji will be there as well. Guatemala. First chance here for Edu Farry to get into play. The substitute feeds it inside and he's looking for the ball back to him that never arrived. Captain tries to lay it forward. That's not too bad though. Again, it's a good idea with the ball, but it's poorly executed. And Senegal are able to come forward once more down the line with Diallo. He runs it into touch though. But it's still on a knife edge. In some senses, Samba Diallo scored the only goal of the game, but should have wrapped it all up. But somehow hitting the bar with an open goal, he's kept this tie alive, and 1-0 is just not really enough a lot of the time. It was enough for them against Egypt, or rather against Nigeria in their opener in Group A. With the way that they're defending at the moment, it's difficult to see how Mathis Deguignon is going to scheme his way into contention once more. Deep look of concentration on the Benin tactician. Made his own substitutions.
Senegal looking pretty much as solid as ever. It's all about game management as well from Senegal. Trying to keep the ball as far away from their own penalty area as possible. Done a good job of that so far in all 3 games so far, and in this one as well, as we head towards the last quarter of an hour. This quarter-final will meet the winner of the last one tomorrow, Congo against Tunisia. This was the, or should have been the sealer. How on earth? All he needed to do was pass it in, and he decided to hit it a little bit harder than really he needed to. Malik Daff and the rest of his support staff absolutely sickened to the stomach to see that one stay out. Jana will be praying that they manage to make it through now. Otherwise, that moment is going to come back to haunt him over and over again. And that's not really what you want inside the mind of a very young player. Malik almost showing that to a Senegal player, but getting the clearance. But the trouble is that as a result of that, a few more seconds roll off the clock. It's gone through. Gosu Donyon. 14 minutes to go. Senegal in front thanks to that man there, Samba Diallo. In the 42nd minute he missed one. In the 67th he hit the bar. But between those two he scored. Was the tackle by Anthony Camara? Is that on the deck? He gets stood upon it. It was actually General Jana, and he was stood on by the substitute Vinyabi. Came through, and it starts out a nasty challenge. However, having said that, there would be a challenge to start, but now that was a possible penalty at the other end. Sane going down, wasn't actually touched. It was a nasty moment for Kadia Malik.
Hey, come on.
The referee pulling the Senegal midfielder back to his feet. Plenty to sing and dance about at the moment for the supporters of the young Cubs of Teranga. Word from Malik Daff for Jibril Diarra with 12 minutes to go. Now what's the referee checking here? Are we coming all the way back for that penalty? Looking at something like could be a red card. Well, that's a bit of an unkind way to stop it. I think a
red card here would be very harsh, because it's the Senegal player who is hooking his leg around it. And the Benin player is not going to know his foot's going to be there until he's already committed to the challenge. I mean, it looks bad, there's no doubt about it, but it's not like he's lunged in on the player. He's gone for the ball, and the ball is suddenly not there, because Giara is coming from behind him and then hooking his leg around into his path. To me, that is not the same thing as when a player comes in directly in front of a player and lunges in with his studs up. Let's see what our referee makes of this then. Well, Jean-Claude Ishimwe is going to pull out a yellow card. Okay. All right, well, we can live with that. I'm still not convinced that's a yellow for the reasons I've given. But at least it's on the pitch still. He's got to be careful though now, with 10 minutes to go. Senegal 1, Benin 0. It should be 2, but the goal scorer, Samba Diallo, missed an absolute sitter, an open goal of a chance by hitting the bar instead. Comes Senegal once more. A bit of a wasted ball into the middle though by Diallo. Well, one back by Lamine Camara. After he'd initially lost the ball to Doko Doroduku. Senegal at the moment. Benin, it's Benin that has to score. And at the moment they are still struggling to get into the other half of any kind of meaningful possession, which is the way it's been, and even the changes in personnel have not changed that, and there is a good illustration of it. Still got it, Malik Daf. Approaching 2 years in charge now is Malik Daf, 54 years old, and previously in charge of the under-19s, managed them to the 2019 under-17 World Cup. They actually got there after Guinea were kicked out for fielding overage players in the qualifying competition. Famous wins in that World Cup as well over the Dutch and the USA before being finally knocked out by Spain. Senegal team and win their first continental title. Incredible the way that Senegal football in general has risen over the last few years. All the titles have suddenly come in the last 12 months or so. So then another substitution then coming. We're going to see Philippe Nsavi, by the looks of it, coming on. Okay, so Senegal first, Camara comes on. Goes straight up front for this free kick that is sent in by Bass, or by Camara. Comes back to Djibril Diarra. Not a bad ball in, and there's chance. deflected into the path of Roman Camry. So another opportunity, this time is Pat Jallow, who lets one skip by. Chances here to kill off Benin, but they resolutely refuse to do it. And there's still 6 minutes left here for the Cheetahs to be able to resurrect their AFCON survival hopes. Doku can't take it and looks further forward for somebody else to blame.
Take the ball. Enough.
No way through there. There's a bit of a mix-up. Benin handed the ball, and that's the sort of thing they have to be wary of. Just one mistake, and all of a sudden Benin could be through. In the same way that the mistake from the goalkeeper carried for Benin should have really allowed Senegal to make it 2-0. 5 minutes to go, just under. Senegal looking to hold on. More and more desperation coming from Benin. This is Gay. Feeds it off into the path. They do. Vinyabi. Again. There's a wall of green defenders, stops that going in for Benin. Back in again, and Bass hits that. The attempted ball in from Dosu Donyon. There will be a Benin throw in. 4 minutes to go now. Imran Hassan. And once more, good turn from the midfielder. We'll look up to see who's in the box. There's only 2 players actually in that box when that cross was struck. It's getting towards the time now where they've just got to commit bodies forward, and if Senegal race up the other end and score, then so be it. There's no tomorrow after this game. Benin are going to do better than their 3rd place from back in 2005, then they've got to find a way to score now. I've got to be honest though, it's difficult to see how they're going to achieve it. Imran Hassan again has to turn backwards down the line from Dosu Donyon. And there's a clash of heads in the middle. One of whom is Seydou Sano. Though to be fair, I think the clash of heads was maybe between the 2 Benin players. They hit each other first, and then Sano rose above them. Another good game from Seydou Sano, 18-year-old who plays for US Gore in his home country. One of those who doesn't play for Generation Foot. Other clubs are able to come up with their own international players as well. This was the volley from Pat Jallow, African Nations Championship winner with the senior side, the locally based tournament in Africa, which is a fantastic competition. So really good innovation, I think, to make sure that those players who do not go abroad have another chance to be able to represent their countries on the continent. Senegal managing to win that. It's another way to put yourself in the shop window as well.
challenges that we've had in the second half. Again, possession given up, and this has been the story of their match for Benin. They're just not composed in possession. That ball is easy though for Carey. Carey wants to get it underway, of course, straight away. The referee though says that's not taken from the right place. Start again, final 30 seconds. Benin running out of time, big time. Again, the ball forward is not good and is intercepted by Pape Diallo. And then by Suleiman Bass. They're looking to finish it off. Atso is intercepted by Uru Tamamu. Captain delivers it up as far as Imran Hassan forward again, but again it's under here, and that is the problem. There's 5 minutes of time added on at the end of this game, but it's difficult to see how the men in yellow would be able to score if there were 15 minutes added on at the end of this game. They're just not putting it together. Well, that might almost have looked as if it was a foot up into the face of the goal scorer, Samba Diallo. But it was the ball that hit him smack in the chops. The referee's decided to give a free kick anyway because of the foot up in the first place. Well, has he? No, he hasn't. It's going to be a throw-in. Sensible refereeing there, I think. A little bit unfortunate. We're 1 minute in, 4 minutes to go. Inside injury time at the end of the game. Still to come later today, Uganda against Nigeria in Somalia, the second of the quarterfinals, with Senegal now trying to burn a bit of time by bringing on a couple more substitutions. First one on is Mamour Faye, 20-year-old forward from AF Darussalam in Senegal, and then also coming on is Mohamed Gay, a 19-year-old central midfielder from US Gore in Senegal, and he comes on for Lamine Camara, who set up the winner with a free kick, probably the only set piece in the game from either side that has actually done anything the way it should do. And it was a very good delivery that was picked up in the middle by Samba Diallo to head in. And a free kick coming for Benin as well. Looks like Bauer, who was a substitute already, is coming back off again. He was injured a couple of moments ago. No, so I think that's I think, if I understood that lip reading properly from Fasika Biru, that it was 14 that they were supposed to be replacing. So as yet, Femi Maladi is having to wait to come on. I think in the end they've just accepted it now, and I think Imran Hassan in the end came off. That was all a little bit confusing. Bauer has stayed on. And Senegal are on the attack, and that's very close to being an own goal. And Rahman Karim there was sent all the way scuttling back towards his own goal line. This is Edu. That's not a bad ball in, and at last a chance And it's gone wide from Vignabe. Well, they've been waiting for it long enough in this second half. At last, a quality ball into the middle. And Vignabe's managed to get between the defenders. This was at the other end just beforehand. The 94th minute. Stefan Vignabe with a chance to rescue it, and that is the problem with having a 1-0 lead. All it takes is that one goal, and there's another chance to make it 2. And it's a shot over the top by Sané. It was offside in any case. Benin outside the 5 minutes now. This is it. If they don't score now, they're out. Still the 1-0 lead. Senegal hoofing it anywhere. And all of a sudden, everybody back. Benin with one last chance, and they've lost it again. Pap Diallo on the far side goes down. Referee blows. That's it. Senegal are into the quarter-finals again. 1 goal in the end enough. Samba Diallo. After 51 minutes, 6 minutes into the second half, he could have had a hat-trick in that game, but in the end, the Senegal captain's single goal is enough to send Senegal into the first of the semi-final places. Qualification for the Under-20 World Cup as well. Here in Cairo, it's finished Senegal 1, Benin 0, and Benin are out. Well, the nerves were shredded at the end for the young cubs of Teranga. But in all honesty, Benin never offered a credible threat in attack. It has been their Achilles heel from the moment they arrived here in Egypt. An inability to really show a consistent threat in attack. Just the 1 goal scored in all 4 games for them. Nevertheless, they did make it through to the quarter-finals. So there is achievement there as well, but not that Rahman Karim can be consoled at the end of that. He did his job. Their one mistake, though, in this game didn't cost them a goal in the end, as it hit the bar after he let the ball drop from a high ball after he decided to come out of his area. But it was really an inability to score at the other end that has cost them. It's Senegal then who will go on to play either Congo or Tunisia, who play in the final quarter-final tomorrow night. Well, the right team has won in the end, you'd have to say, after what has happened in the tournament and in that game a microcosm really of what has happened so far to these two sides. Let's take a look then at the statistics, and well, Benin in the end had 53% of possession, but virtually all of that came after the goal went in, as Senegal just sat back and decided that pretty much 1 goal was enough. 5 attempts on the goal from Senegal towards Benin, 2 of which were on target. 1 of them resulted in a goal. Was the one that hit the bar, not counted as on target. So there it is. Senegal then are the first team through to the semi-finals. They wait for either Congo or Tunisia, and later on this evening in the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismailia, Uganda against Nigeria, and the winner of that will play the other winner of the other quarter-final, the Gambia or South Sudan. And so then, business really feels like it's got going then in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Thanks very much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you. There's plenty more action to come though. This is where it gets serious.
See, I was pissed at you. I was mad too. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I know our debt to love has been paid. I paid that bill.
At TotalEnergies, we go the extra mile for you.